Hello, welcome to the Scale Modelling Cafe and welcome to an exciting time. Telford starts tomorrow and it's becoming a little bit of a tradition. I say that, it's the second year in a row that Airfix have announced a new tool for the show. Last year it was the ME410 in 72nd scale. This time, two new tools, one completely new, the other one a modified tooling of a kit that was released last year. I'm going to deal with that one first. That is the Sea Mark IV, or as we used to call it in the Navy, the Jungly. And this is the one that I think is going to tempt me to build it. Pinger is a pinger. Jungly, I've flown in the Pinger and I've flown in the Jungly. I flew in the back of a Jungly a couple of times when I did my tour in Afghanistan, and actually we had a pretty major malfunction on the way back and it all got a little bit concerning at one point. However, what it does do is it gives the best opportunity for weathering, I think. In the boxings, there's four schemes, two green ones, one from the Falklands, one from, I think it's 2013, off the top of my head. And there's a white United Nations one from the Balkans, and there's the Granby one in the desert pink colour. And I quite fancy doing the desert pink one. If you just do a quick Google search, you'll see that they got absolutely minging, some of them, and that has always kind of inspired me a little bit because as you probably are aware, I like my weathering, and I think, well, that would be a really cool modelling project. It is it's going to be a very nice kit. I think the Pinger went down really very well, especially the way that was marketed, the surprise announcement in the middle of the summer, the videos, and I really think it was extremely well done. It's inevitable, I think, that the crab yellow version is coming, and if I'm being honest, I think the Jungly version, bearing in mind they've done that in 72nd scale, was always going to come, even though they denied it. And I think it's a great choice. I think that when they announce the crab version, I would imagine they'll probably do it in their New Year show. It'll be less of a surprise because I think it's pretty obvious it's going to come. But the way they've done it this time with the Jungly on the eve of Telford, I think is fantastic. Whether it's going to be on sale or not, I don't know. I very much doubt it from what I've seen and read in the press release. And I'll stick some pictures up here from the press release. But I just think that's a great choice. It's obviously iconic helicopter. Those of us who grew up in the southwest used to see them flying around out of Yeovilton all the time, and I just think it's a fantastic choice. And the possibilities for dioramas in desert settings, Falkland settings, all that kind of thing, I think it's fantastic. There we are. I'm not going to do too much on that because it is like an upgraded tooling. It's just a different version of an existing kit, and although it is exciting, it's not the main focus of this video. The main focus of this video is the brand new tool, 1/48 scale Westland Lysander, and nobody saw this coming. Absolutely nobody. I think it fits extremely well into the range. Airfix have a penchant for doing early war RAF subjects. And the range in 48 scale is littered with early war 48 scale aeroplanes. You know that Anson, the having said that, my mind's gone blank. The Blenheim, and I'm sure there's going to be more to come. It's a big aeroplane, actually, like the Anson. The Anson is surprisingly a big aeroplane, and It's got that high aspect ratio wing. It's very tall, especially at the front. It's going to be a real presence on in a display cabinet or on the tables at model shows. And as I said, I think it fits really neatly in. If I was going to have maybe one slight Debbie Downer, is no one's really been screaming out for a 1/48 scale Lysander. They've been screaming out for other things, and I'm going to come on to that at the very end in my summary. But I think subjects like this are just brilliant. They really are. It's a funky looking aeroplane. I'm sure it's going to sell really well for them. There's multiple versions. There's a plethora of colour schemes. The colour schemes in this one, they're both kind of early war in the temperate land scheme. So that's dark earth, dark green over sky. I really like the inclusion of the Polish one. That looks really cool. The possibilities are not endless. Nothing's endless, but you know what I mean. Really wide choice. You've got Mediterranean ones. You've got Far East ones. You've got the later marks doing the covert missions from Telford, dropping off the agents. Lots of black going on in those colour schemes, that kind of thing. And I don't know whether they're going to include the ladder. I don't know whether that's going to be on the sprues or if that's going to be a separate sprue for a later release. I don't know. You can be sure that the aftermarket are licking their lips for it. Not least the glazing masking set companies. They're going to be all over that because that's pretty much essential, I reckon. But all the different decal schemes that are going to launch from this, you can imagine Extra Decal, as we speak, are busy designing sheets for it. And yeah, I just think it's just brilliant. It's to do it now as well, there's a real sort of buzz around Telford. Yet again, I can't make it. This is my 4th year out in Saudi. And, you know, the timing just doesn't work, unfortunately for me. So I'm not going to be able to go anytime soon. But there's always a real buzz in the UK about this time of year. And last year, when the ME410 dropped, created a real buzz. Airfix have struggled is the wrong word. They've announced stuff at Telford before and it's leaked out. I remember I was there when they were going to unveil the Vulcan, and you know, there was a real buzz of excitement. Everybody was there. They're sort of giving their spiel. They're just about to reveal, and some twat just yells out, "It's a Vulcan!" You know, what an anus that guy was. And last year with the 410, I think they'd given a test shot or one of the early production versions to, I think it was Jad Lam. They sent it out to a YouTuber to build it. And obviously there was an embargo on it, but you know, there was a bit of cross wires and the video went live too early, which spoiled the announcement. And, you know, there are these examples of failed Airfix announcements at Telford. However, this time they've got it right. They haven't given it to anybody. They kept the cards close to their chest. I'm on the mailing list, and normally you'll get the press notice, and it will be in big bold letters, embargoed until, with the date and time. So you can prepare, you can make your video, you can stick it up on YouTube with a timer, so it will drop at the right time. And I totally understand why they haven't done this with these new tools, because it will leak out. There will be some people that cannot help themselves, and it will leak out. The fact that they're keeping their cards close to their chest, they're not doing that, I think is a great thing. So kudos for them for managing to keep this one under wraps, and it's going to be really cool. And it will be at Telford because there's pictures of the built-up model already. It's available for pre-order. Both are available for pre-order now. It's not cheap, but then like I said a little while ago, it's a big aeroplane. You know, there's a lot of plastic in there. It's highly detailed. The cockpit just looks brilliant. Not too many rivets to add for me because it's a fabric aeroplane. And am I going to get one? Absolutely. When am I going to make it? I've absolutely no idea. You know, I did get the Chinook, the B-24 and the Bulldog, and they're sat in the stash. I'm intending to build all of them. It's just time, isn't it? I mean, you can see the state of the desk now. And I've got a stash up there which I promised myself I'd never have out here in Saudi. Just a couple of kits to keep me going. But there we go. So when am I going to get around to it? I've absolutely no idea. I really fancy actually doing it straight from the box. The last thing I wanted to mention about the Lysander are the pilot figures. Just having a look at the test shots, they look brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've no doubt in the instructions there'll be the face of the designer, which I think is a really good touch. You know, I love it when there's a bit of sense of humour about these things. But the figures in this kit look absolutely fantastic. So, you know, kudos for Airfix redoing those from scratch, because they look absolutely brilliant and, you know, so good I might even be tempted to do it. Although I always shy away from figures because A, I'm not very good at painting figures anyway, and B, no matter how good they are, they always look like painted figures, if you know what I mean. But I think that's a real plus point for this kit, and like I say, they look so good I might even be tempted myself. There we are. Right, the last thing I'm going to conclude with is, and I haven't seen it yet, but I know it's coming, is the, oh no, what about this? They should do this, blah, blah, blah. Now, I know Peter Oxley on YouTube has done an extremely long video about manufacturers not doing certain kits, and he's baffled. And the headline is the 48th Jaguar. Why haven't they done a 48th Jaguar? Everyone's asking for it. It crops up all the time. And I totally get it. And I have no doubt that it's in their plans. It has to be. Same for the long-nosed Blenheim. Same for the 72nd Hampton. It's there in the to-do list, and it will be there on a spreadsheet, on a timeline, somewhere. Tornado, I'm less about the Tornado because, you know, there is the Revell kit out there. There are the Hobby Boss ones out there. They all have their issues, either accuracy in the Hobby Boss one, obviously, and, you know, difficulty. Where, you know, they're not easy kits, the Revell one, and, you know, they're not that new, are they, these days? The 72nd and the 48th ones. But maybe they'll do it in the future. I don't know. We shall have to see. But I think the Jag is definitely going to come in both scales, 72nd and 48th. We just have to be patient. And there's been a lot said as well about Airfix, about their parent company Hornby's finances. Now, we don't know the breakdown of that between all the brands that Hornby owns. Whether Airfix is actually making a profit or not, we don't know. It's kind of buried under the big umbrella. We know Hornby, you know, have made a loss over the last few years, and it's been considerable. But there are mitigations for that and why they've made a loss. But the investors are still investing, and I think Airfix as a brand is healthy. Chatting to my friends who work in Airfix, it's healthy, and I don't think we should be worried about it. And then, you know, if Hornby goes under, and I have no doubt they'll get Airfix will survive. They'll get bought out. They may even sell Airfix. You know, the break up the group, sell off the individual brands. The profitable ones will obviously get snapped up pretty quickly. And Airfix is such an icon, and it's, you know, it's not perfect, but I do think Airfix is in a healthy place. Could be healthier, but I'm pretty sure they're fine. So, bottom line is, 2 fantastic new tool releases. Obviously, one is a modified tool, and we kind of knew it was coming. But it's, a nice surprise that it's been announced now. And the second one, completely out the blue, 48 scale Lysander, absolutely brilliant. I hope they scale it down to 72nd in due course as well. And as I just finished up with, be patient. I've no doubt we'll see the Jag. I'll no doubt we'll see with the long nose Blenheim. I'll no doubt we'll see a Hampton in 72nd. I'm sure they're in the pipeline. We just can have to be patient and wait. And I'm sure they're coming. I don't have any insider information, by the way. Right. I think I'll leave it there. I just thought I'd do a quick reaction video. Everyone else on YouTube has done a reaction video. I thought I'd just throw out my opinion, my 2 pennies worth for what it is. Be interesting to hear your comments. Do you like the releases? Do you like the way Airfix are doing these releases? These surprise announcements out the blue on the eve of Telford. Is that good? Do you think they should do it every year? Build that anticipation, or maybe not next year, keep people guessing? Be interesting to get your thoughts. There we are. I'll leave it there. Right, I'm going to go and recharge the camera, and I'm going to go and have my dinner, and while that's recharging, think about what I'm going to say in my weekly video, which I'm going to record very shortly. So thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 and I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye-bye.